cut them like this. So all that, look how simple this is. You can make them as thin, as thick as you like. I'm gonna pull one out for you. Now look at this. This is huge, but look at that. Isn't that a beautiful biscuit? That's what you call a biscuit. Nice and airy. It's soft, it's spongy. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna toast them. And you're gonna put them in a pan. You can use the same pan that you have. But because you need some space here, I'm starting another one. And look how nice they're shaped. And look how simple. I mean, this is simple. And like I said, you have somebody in here helping you. It even makes it easier. Somebody can clean up as you're going along. And that's what makes it fun. Right now, I don't have anybody helping me. But I will get my mother out here in a few minutes. My wife, chances are she's on the phone, as usual. She's not allowed, she doesn't do that for a living. But she should. She'd probably make a fortune. But she spends most of her life on the phone. Don't ask me what she's talking about because I have no idea. She'll call me when she's around the corner and say, oh, I'm on my way home. And 5 minutes later, she's walking in the door. Okay, now you got the idea for this. We're going to make another popular Italian cookie. Everybody makes it. Everybody likes them, and basically everybody has their own recipe. So what I'm going to give you today is just a kind of recipe that I put together. It's not set in stone. You can do anything you want to do with these cookies. They're called pizzelles. There are different variations. This variation is very simple. Very easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it right now. We're only going to make a half a batch, which is 6 eggs. And I'm doing this while my biscuits are toasting. Now, you could do this. This is how you move along quickly and you say, well, I can only do one batch of cookies a day. No, you can't. You just take your time, pay attention to what you're doing. Sometimes it's better not to have anybody in the kitchen because they mess you up. A million people talking and then you forget what you're putting into the recipe and whatnot. But right now, when my biscuits are toasting, they're probably going to take about 20 minutes or so. So in the meanwhile, I could be mixing this batter. And this is where you get somebody to come and help you. After the batter's done, I'll bring my mother in here. She can make the pizzelles and I can continue to take care of the biscuit. All right, we got 6 eggs in here, right? Same way. Gonna whip the eggs. One cup of sugar. These are simple. When I tell you simple, simple. And it's eggs and sugar. I'm going to put a little anise oil in this, anise extract. Not much, probably about half a teaspoon. It just gives it a slight flavor. You want to know that this is the one that's going to really give it the flavor. Orange extract, orange. Smells great. I mean, really smells good. I'm going to probably put about 2 teaspoons in this. You can put a little bit more if you want. If you really like the flavor of it, you could put lemon. You could put anise seed in here if you want. But this is the recipe that I got for this, and this is really simple and it's good. And they come up real light and thin, very thin, the pizzelles. All right. We're getting this incorporated. Oil. Just plain vegetable oil. You could use blended oil. Do not use extra virgin olive oil. You will kill them. Just use vegetable oil. You could use butter if you want, or margarine, but this recipe calls for just vegetable oil. Throw it in there, 1 cup. And 2 cups of flour. So I'm going to stop this. Years ago when we were growing up, there was no such thing as these kind of machines. You either beat it by hand or you did it with a handheld mixer, which weighed a ton. And we did that. And I watched it all the time. And then today we have Piazza irons that make 2 pizzelles at a time. Years ago, I watched my grandmother. I was too young to do it. They had a Piazza iron that went on the stove. Long metal handle, 2 metal handles, and they pour the batter in it, and they squeezed it together, and they stood over the stove, one side and the other side. And they'd probably be working 2 irons at a time, but that's what they did, and that's the way they did it. And they had trays and tons of cookies for the holidays. Today, we have all the conveniences, and most people don't want to do it. They want to go to the store and go buy the stuff that's already pre-made or put it out. I mean, I know people are busy and it's not always easy to do these things, but you know what? It's fun. And you try to get your family together. That's what makes things work. You're getting people together. I know I miss those days. I try as much as possible to keep, to keep it all together, keep the family coming together. And just the other day, my cousin called me up, and my aunt is not feeling well, so we went to see her, and my cousin called, and she said, what do you say we make gaginites together? It's an Italian cookie. It's like a fried ravioli. It's a fried ravioli made out of wine and oil and flour, and the insides is filled with chestnuts and chocolate and nuts and stuff like that. Well, I spent 8 hours up there, and we had lunch and we had dinner, and that's what we made. We made these raviolis, and we split we split it. We took up almost 100 apiece. We had 100 each, and that's what we did. But it was fun. It actually was fun. Okay, this is it. Done. You're going to go to the iron, your Piazza iron. I doubt mine is plugged in yet, but hopefully it is. No, it's not. So we'll get there in a minute. We'll plug it in. It takes a couple of minutes to warm up. Your batter. This is your batter. Thin consistency like that. Look at that. And you have to smell this. This is incredible smell. You can smell the orange. It's just a great. And you could put, if you don't have orange extract, don't worry about it. Got orange in the house? Grate a little bit of orange, zest of orange. Just get all that orange off at the top. Don't dig too deep. Just take the top off. Or lemon. Put a little juice. Squeeze the juice of the orange in there, and you have it. And I'll tell you what, it really smells good. All right, get my iron plugged in, and we're going to go over to the iron and make a couple of pizzelles for you. We just got the pizzelle batter done. I send it over to the table. I'll take you over there in a minute. While that's getting ready, the iron's getting ready. I got the biscotti almost done. That's being toasted, and one of the other loaves that I put in is almost ready to come out of the oven. So we're going to take you over here where my mother's at, and this is the kind of work I don't like to do, is sit down and do all this tedious little work. So you can turn this over to one of your kids, your grandchildren if you have, or whatever. Or one of your neighbors, or your husband, or your wife, and say, here, sit down and do this. And now you take these out, and that's what they do. They come out. They're very simple. The iron, you can buy them almost anywhere. And then you can take this, and if you have one of these little gadgets, make like a little cannoli out of it. And if you don't have one of these gadgets, you can still do it. You don't need this. I just happened to buy it when I was downtown.